welcome back to BackAlly Horror. On today's video I am going to be reviewing the movie Apartment 1BR. This is just going to be a really small review. I watched it yesterday and I thought, why not give it a quick review over on YouTube for you guys. This is going to be a spoiler-free and spoiler review, so I will make sure that you guys clearly know what we're doing and when. So I'll start with a really small spoiler-free review, because to go into depth on this film in a review sense, I would have to spoil a few things. But for now, we'll stick with a spoiler-free review. So this film is a directorial debut, and it's about a girl called Sarah who, obviously, as the title suggests, goes and rents an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment in like an apartment complex in LA. She's a wannabe costume designer who's now working as a temp for a law firm. She's not liking her job because she can't stick up for herself. Her boss is a bit of a bitch, and she seems to be thinking she's hearing noises, like plumbing noises from her apartment, and it's making her unable to sleep. She thinks she's hearing, seeing things. You know, she's just having a really rough time in her life. She doesn't know what she wants to do or really who she is, and that's when things take a turn. There are rules in the apartment complex, just like you have like on your tenancy agreement. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And she breaks a rule, and it's about how the consequences of breaking that rule affect her. Now, for the first 30 minutes of this film, it's a tad slow. It has me intrigued in the sense of I want to see where this is going, but I would be perfectly fine turning it off and going about my day or watching a better film. And then we get to the actual consequences of breaking these rules and what happens and all that. And I'm kind of like, I didn't see that come in. I was surprised, but I don't know if I like it. I thought it was a bit too much. This is a B movie at best. The acting isn't amazing, and like in regards to the story, I think if they toned it down just a little bit, it would have been more realistic and more terrifying, because it's more of a thriller than a horror, like a psychological thriller. So I'm kind of like, no, I'm not sat here scared. I'm not sat here psychologically messed up in the head thinking what's going on, or thrilled, like on the edge of my seat, oh my god, what's going to happen and all that. And they took it from this level, they went up here, but the end result of that meant that the movie just was a bit over the top for me. The ending as well I didn't like. I thought it was just a bit too like, right, okay. Too bland, and without spoiling too much, it just didn't seem to go in the way that I was expecting the film to flow. There were a few moments in there that I did really enjoy, and I was like, oh my god, I did not see that happening. Like, what? Whoa, hold on a second. Like, you know, I was expecting it to be this one person to do something, and I was completely wrong, and it was someone else. And then there was moments where I was like, yeah, I see that happening, and like 20 minutes before it happened, and it happened. So it's a mixed bunch. I will say you have to give it like at least half an hour to get into it. If after say like 15 minutes after the consequences start taking place, it's still not got you, then I'd say this film isn't for you, and you could probably turn it off and go about the rest of your day and watch a better movie. I mean, out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. I probably won't watch it again, because I mean, I don't see the point now. I've watched it once, and sometimes I do like to rewatch a film to see if it grabs me again, but I really don't hold out hope that this film is going to be added to my DVD collection or watched again. It's just a one-time watch for me. It didn't make me feel like I wasted an hour and a half of my life, so it wasn't bad. So now is the spoiler review. So if you haven't watched this movie and you do not want to be spoiled, end this video here and let me know what you thought of the review in the comments below, and subscribe and all that jazz. If you have seen the film or you don't care about spoilers, then I will go into spoilers now. I've already given my ranking of a 6 and giving you the gist of what I thought of the film, so I'm not going to go in real depth, but we will talk about some of the incidents that happen and why I think certain things. So obviously, like I said, Sarah's got this one-bedroom apartment in this really crazy complex full of crazy people, and she has rules to live by, and the two that are stated at the beginning are no smoking and no pets. she already has a cat and she lies on her application saying she has no pets. She gets the apartment and she brings Giles, her cat, with her. And that's the one rule that she breaks. This is my big issue. Well, not a big issue, but all this, we are literally going through everything that she goes through because she has a cat. I think I would have preferred it if she'd smoked and had a cat and had wild parties, for example, or she had a more rebellious side, or she didn't care about the community just a little bit more, because she did. She cared about Edie and the rest of the people there. She looked after them before they found out she had a cat. So I was kind of like, we're really going through all this just for a cat? But then apparently they do it anyway, so I'm not sure if they would have done it even if she did care and she was a really good part of their little community. I was just kind of like, let's make her so when they do that whole torture scene of her holding her hands against the wall and try and get her to be less selfish and more selfless, I'm like, make her have more to get rid of, more bad parts of herself to get rid of, rather than just owning a cat. I will say the fact that they put the cat in the oven was a big surprise. The fact that she woke up, there was smoke, and she opens the oven and there's the cat, that took me by surprise. Yeah, I liked that part. Not in the sense of hurting a cat, I'm not sadistic like that, but I liked that part and I wasn't expecting that. And they upped that up significantly, from rattling pipes to having a letter put under your door to we've cooked your cat and now we're going to drug you, keep you in a cell kind of room, nail your hands to a wall and torture you with really crappy music. Then we find out that practically everybody in the complex has been through that. The fact that they kill Edie because she has she's poorly, so she's probably going to die in a few months or something anyway. They're like, oh, we're going to do it anyway. I was like, really? This community is fucked up, to say the least. Excuse my French, but damn, no. And then they pair her off with Lester because his wife died of cancer, and I see where you're going. I kind of was expecting just a little bit more. We had a level of 7 crazy, and it was just it always felt like there was going to be more, but then so we were going down this path of more, but then we would always veer off and go somewhere else. It was always a little disappointment after every act was finished. I was like, oh, okay then, fair enough. We're not doing that then. And then we'd go on to something else, so we're doing this. No, we're not doing that. And then we get to the fact that they're torturing one of her friends because their friends moved into her apartment. And then she stabs the main guy with a screwdriver or something because he was about to do a lobotomy on her friend, and she stabs him with that. And then they start running, and I'm not gonna lie, this bit was great because he just shot. You did not see that. I thought he was gone for, to be honest. And then he just goes poof, gone. She's dead. Friend's dead. And then she stabs him over and over again. I mean, to be fair, I probably would have done that myself the first time around. What is with this thing in movies where you just literally, you never just get the guy once and think they're gone for. Overkill's fine at this point because at the end of the day, they were the one trying to kill you first. So I think you're good. So she takes the gun, she runs out, and then it's trying to get out. All these people are completely brainwashed and they don't want to leave. They're perfectly happy where they are. She tries to escape. Lester helps her escape and then he shoots himself, which I kind of understood, but I kind of would have liked it to be a bit more dramatic than that. And then she starts running down the street and then alarms start going off. And then that's when she realizes that basically this complex isn't the only complex that's like this, and there are other people watching and other people doing the same thing that this complex is doing, where they're torturing and making, because the whole idea is to make this perfect complex of neighbours where everyone looks out for each other and everyone's selfless. And then she realizes, because red sirens are going off, that practically every building on this street is a complex ran by the same people that do the same thing, that torture these people and brand them and everything like that. And then the camera goes down to her fist and she does a fist. And then she starts running. And then that's the end of the film. I'm like, what? Why? That was so random. Well, why are you showing us her fist and then she runs? I don't know. And I was kind of expecting from somewhere just to kind of be like, because of that scene, she's like, right, I've got to fight to get out of here because they're all part of the same thing and I could get attacked at any moment. Running down this street is dangerous, so you know, let's fight, let's run, let's go. I was kind of expecting like a sniper shot, and you just see her running and then she goes, but no, it just ended. I was really disappointed with the ending. Like I've already said, I'd give it a 6, but no, that I was expecting just a tad more. It felt like it was going somewhere, you know, and it didn't. And because of that is why I would give it a 6. Again, like I've already said, I wouldn't rewatch it or anything like that. I just think it's an okay movie for a one-time watch. That's just my personal opinion. I do know people do like it. For me, the acting was standard. I mean, it's a directorial debut. I see that. It's not bad. It's not one of them really amateurish films, like, for example, Shark Night, that I watched recently. That was terrible, and that was really amateurish, and you could see the green screen, you could see everything that was wrong with that movie. This one, you can't see all that, but I can tell, like, it was a first-timer, in the sense of there were things that shouldn't have been there, or should have been there, that just, you know, weren't or were. And the acting was okay, enough to suffice for the film, but not amazing where I'm sat here thinking, oh my god, that chick's performance was absolutely outstanding. She deserves to be in more films, kind of thing. She's not very memorable as Sarah. She's just ordinary, in my opinion. Not in a bad way. So, but whether that's down to acting or script, you don't know. Anyway, so that's my review on Apartment 1BR. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film and if you enjoyed it or not. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and check out the link in the description below for all other social media and give them a follow as well. Until the next one, guys, stay horrid.